Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we're back to watch Monat Huns again. I have recorded so many videos, so I don't know how to speak anymore. But today we're back to watch another training, another inspirational training from one of top coaches in Monat. Her name's Jo. She's been featured on my channel many times before. I have patiently been waiting Jo's return to YouTube because she stopped posting videos on YouTube for about 2 years. And my theory is now that MLMs are down and top leaders are kind of struggling to make income, I feel like that's why Jo decided to return to YouTube. And she's been pretty regularly posting videos from then, and no one's happier than me, obviously. This is like my third video on her in like 3 months, maybe even less. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button if you'd like to support my channel. And as always, big shout out to all my channel members. I do appreciate you guys. And a reminder to enjoy my beautiful background here and all of my plushies here, because this is the last time that you will see me in this setting, in this apartment, because we're moving out. Anywho, I've been watching a little bit of too much MLM content, and I'm a little bit pissy at this point. Like, they just annoy me. If I'm a little bit rude or something, just know it's nothing personal against Jo or anything. It's just I've watched and listened to way too many MLM huns in the last few weeks, days even. So yeah, let's just get into this video.
Alrighty, welcome guys. Happy Wednesday. Tonight's speaker guest is someone super special, someone we can learn a lot from if you already don't know her. Miss Sarah, she is a mommy of two, pregnant with the third on the way, about to get to the $1 million club, PV queen. I mean, if you see her hair, you're like, okay, it makes sense. And I want you to say your journey, but I know I was talking to AJ and I know you did a great rebuild. So someone that was AED, lost it, hit it again with a brand new team, I think is one of the most inspiring parts of your journey. So Sarah, the way we started off is in like 5 minutes, share a little bit about your story, maybe like how or why you got started, how it's been. I know 5 minutes is a very short time. But then we have some questions for you, and thank you so much for being on with us tonight. Oh wait, you're
Hi, I unmuted myself and I think you unmuted me, so it muted me. But hi guys, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for doing these calls and always opening these up to us, because they're always so good. But okay, a little bit about my story.
Maybe it's just me, but she doesn't sound too excited.
In 5 minutes, I've been with Monat for 6 years, so to put it all into 5 minutes. But I started as I was a college graduate. I was a personal trainer. I was serving and personal training like 6 or 7 days a week. Like, truly, you guys, I never had time off. I was either working doubles or I was personal training in the morning, working at the restaurant at night, or vice versa. Like, no time. Still was so broke, wasn't sure what I was doing. So when I saw girls from my gym doing this opportunity, which, by the way, a good lesson for you guys, I had one girl reach out to me about the business. She followed up once, maybe once or twice. Another girl, though, a couple months later, followed up with me like 5 times. So I joined that girl, not the first girl that reached out to me. So,
Oh wow, what a great professional advice. Ask people to join. If they say no, keep spamming them and asking them and checking up on them and following up and be a nuisance. What a great professional advice, eh?
that's just a good lesson for you guys. Never stop following up, because you never know when someone's situation changes, or they've been watching for long enough, or they finally get tired enough of their situation where this is like an opportunity that no one was going to look, that they were never going to look at. And then they finally do. So I finally was like, fine, sit me down, show me how you guys make money. I don't get it, but I will look at it. And once she showed me, I was like, I'm in, let's do this. I wasn't loving what I was doing.
Well, there's mistake number one. I mean, clearly she didn't do any research of her own. I don't know if she's actually successful. Okay, you sit down with them and they tell you the pitch, but like, clearly if they want to recruit you or sell something to you, they're gonna tell you all the best about the company, about the products, about the business. So even if you want to listen to them, you should always do your own research, and you should always do your own research on the company website, but you should always do your research on other sources as well, like the FTC, or even from the company's own website, you can find the income disclosure statement that will show you that up to 99% of people in Monat don't profit. You're sick and tired, you're broke, whatever, then MLM is not for you, because you're most likely not gonna make any profit in MLMs, because the majority of people don't. And it has nothing to do with the amount of effort or work that they put in. It's just that the business model is set up so that the majority of people fail and only top 1% or less earn all the profit.
I was like, maybe I can go back to school and I can use this to pay through school. Started working the business, you know, hit my mom neighborhood, got that first check. My first check was pretty hefty. It was pretty good, right? Because Smart Start, it was amazing. And I didn't start with a big social media following at all. I started with the people I had in my network. You guys, I was doing like 30 reach outs a day. Like I was doing so many reach outs. It wasn't really social. I was definitely posting on social media, but so anyways, when I saw that first paycheck, I was literally like, wow, like I could live off of, at the time I was like, I could probably live off of like 3K a month. So I could probably do this full time for a while if I had to, like, because it was close to what I was making back then. So anyways, I was like, I saw the vision really.
Did she say 3K a month? You're already above average earnings from what I know, at least in Ireland, and I'm pretty sure in the US. No, maybe the averages are a little bit higher in the US.
Really early on. And I really knew that like, this is what I wanted to do. And it helped that AJ told me what she was making when I started. She was like, oh yeah, I've been in this however many months. I'm about to get, you know, $8,000 next month. That was at the time. And I was like, what? That's more money that I don't know. I don't even know anyone who makes that type of money. Like no one in my family, no one, I don't even think anyone in my hometown made. So anyways, I was like, that's insane. So I saw the vision so fast and I've been all in ever since then. I did not come with the skills that a lot of people have when they start that see like major success early on. I didn't have a lot of those skills, so I had to learn the skills. All I really knew was that like I was a hard worker and then I could learn anything, right? And I think that's
Yeah, but being a hard worker and a fast learner or slow learner, but you can learn anything with time, whatever kind of learner, it has nothing to do when you're joining an MLM. Your work, your hard work, your efforts, they don't matter, because unless you have a big following on social media that you can recruit into your team, or if you're joining an MLM at its early stages, then you have some chances of being successful. If you don't have any of those two things, you will not be successful. It doesn't matter how hard you work or how fast or slow you learn. But also in Monat, I guess a lot of hairdressers would be in Monat. Well, a lot, not a lot, but like it's a good opportunity for them. Like if you own your own hair salon, you can shill Monat products to your customers. So that's a few ways that people see success in Monat as well.
a lot of us. Like we know we can learn it all. And so it took me a little time to figure a lot of this stuff out and learn it all. But yeah, so then I did like, I think it was like around 2 years, I hit director. And I was director for like over a year, you know, it was pretty good. And then I got to the point where I was going back to like I hadn't hit it and I literally lost it. Like I remember at the beginning of last year, I got an email. I was feeling good too. I was like getting back, like starting to grow my business again, being super consistent. I felt so good about myself. And when that happens, you know, when you guys like make a decision, like I'm sick of my own shit. I'm gonna like get it together. And so I made that decision and I started to get it together. And then I got this email that was like, hey, you know, you deranked, like your career rank isn't director anymore. We got to take you out of all the director chats, like all the director things. And I was just like, instead of like feeling sorry for myself, I literally, you know how people sometimes like record themselves crying? I took a picture of myself crying to remind myself because I was like, I cannot wait to look back at this picture when I hit director again. I was like, this is literally all this is when you make that decision that you're going to like do something, you're going to get things thrown at you that want to bring you back, right? And so that's all I saw in that was like, yes, like this is it. This is what I needed to see to really go. And then I really went. So yeah, so then like a few months later, re-hit director, have such incredible girls, such incredible leaders on my team that I've never been so excited for. Like I'm so excited for these girls on my team right now. So it couldn't have been better.
I love that.
Are you excited for the girls in your team, or are you excited because those girls in your team, well, why are we calling them girls? We're all 30 plus women over here. Or are you excited because those girls in your team are bringing you more money and more income? The harder they work, the more money you get. I feel like I'm being a little bit too I'm just gonna let them speak.
That whole thing of you took a picture to see it for yourself, when that happens again, I literally got chills because I'm like, damn, I feel like a lot of us can relate to that. Not necessarily losing a rank, but maybe getting over a certain fear or whatever the case may be. So the first question that I kind of got a lot, and I feel like a lot of people here can relate, is going to have to do with time management. Obviously, you are a mom of two, yourself very active with your kids, you have a thriving business. How do you make it all happen? How do you fit it all in your day?
Can you hear my son right now? Hang on, let me grab him. Come here, Bubba. He's laying at my door saying, "Mommy." Here. So,
Oh,
yeah, so here's the thing, you guys. When I made that decision that I was gonna like really, really, really go for it, I did decide to invest in some help. So like I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like you can do this without help for sure. But I did decide to invest in a babysitter to come to my house for a couple hours a day because I was doing as much as I could with the babies by my feet. But every single day I was like, wow, if I literally just had 1 hour to do some of that work where I want to sit down and focus. So I found someone who could work a couple hours a day. That way I could do stuff like that. So that's one thing that I definitely did. But before that, I mean, truly, like there was one point where Dalton was working out of town for 2 weeks at a time, and it was just me and the babies. And I never felt so like on fire in my business. And I didn't have help at that time. That was before I got a babysitter. And I mean, I just did it all. Like it was like baby on the hip. It wasn't really like I don't know how I managed my time. I just did what I could when I could. Like the second I found a window to go message someone, like the kids were being chill for a second, I did it. You know what I mean?
That sounds like hell, though. You're just tiring yourself out. You're working for something that is not giving you anything in return. You're certainly not getting any profit from it. The majority of people in Monat. If you have a normal job, you get a maternity leave, you get holidays that are paid for. At least in Ireland, you get like 6 months of paid maternity leave. So you wouldn't have to, have a child on your knee or whatever and keep working. You would still be getting paid. I don't understand. Like traditional jobs give you so much more. MLMs give you nothing. They don't give you any benefits. You don't get any profit. You're just working for free. So how are we still trying to say that they're better than traditional jobs? They're not. Especially for moms and new moms who have newborns and stuff. You don't want to work straight away after giving birth. Really? For an MLM? No, you don't have to, and you shouldn't.
So it was kind of like I'm not the most organized person. I'm not the most like have a routine type of person, but I always knew what I needed to get done, right? Like I knew, okay, today I really want to make a reel. So I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do that, right? I'm probably going to record myself while I'm getting ready. Faith mentioned when she on her call, like she gets ready first thing in the morning really fast so that when she gets the second to do it, she can. That's how it was for me too. It was like just get ready first thing in the morning. And then the second I have to hop on my phone and like make something, I'm good to go, you know?
I love that. And the thing is that I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, but she didn't give us a thing with time management. But you guys are noticing we all say the same thing. It's like when you want something, you will figure it out. I would have answered the same thing. I don't have a schedule. I have a to-do list. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it goes at the end of my day. But it's when you want it, you find a way. I love that. Okay, Raquel.
So I feel like you were kind of answering the question, but if right now when you made that decision and you said like, okay, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna get my career rank back, what did you, if you had to pick like, I don't know, your top 3 things, what did you choose to do? Or what, like when you did have the time, what were you like, these are my non-negotiables, this is what I have to do in a day or in a week, or even if it was chaotic, what is that list of like 3 to 5 things that you would tell every new girl, like this is what you should be doing, this is what you should be focusing on?
Yeah, so I honestly was studying what, like before I made this decision, like I'm going hard. Like I'm going back in hard. I was watching what the girls who were succeeding were doing, and I think success leaves clues. And I saw Jade, for example, every single day she posted a reel, every single day. And I was like, I need to be doing that, right? So that was the one thing. Every single day there was a reel. And literally, like at that time, my kids were at my feet every single time. You guys wouldn't even know it. I'm over here styling and flipping my hair, and my kids are like getting into my makeup and all those things.
That doesn't sound appealing at all. You posting reels every single day on social media while your kids are on your leg. That sounds like hell. It sounds very stressful to me personally, especially if you're not even making any money out of it.
So it was making and posting a reel every single day. And then it was, I mean, just the reach outs and talking to people, getting on my story. And then obviously you're always talking in your chats, right? Like that's always happening. You open up your chat every day, getting on like calls, getting on one-on-one calls with people for sure. And I got better at scheduling team calls as well, because that was something that in the past I wasn't good at, and I still sometimes drift away, but I got better at like getting the schedule. So I was, yeah, I guess so. It was like posting a reel every single day, getting on my story every single day. We do this thing called 555.
I want to say that I have seen, I think Danielle Ryan, I think she was posting every single day for like the month of December or something like that. And I think she said the engagement on her profile did go up, but it only went up because she was posting every single day. But overall, like the engagement that she was getting didn't really increase as much. And like posting every single day is not the secret to success when it comes to social media. It's also spammy. I don't want to see your posts every single day. Even the people that I follow and I like and I talk to and stuff, like if they post all the freaking time, like every single day, all the time for weeks and weeks, I mean, I'm gonna get tired of seeing their posts. Wait a little bit in between posts. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my personal preference anyway. If you're posting about like personal stuff or if you're traveling or whatever, that's fine. I'm probably not gonna get bored that quick of that kind of content. But if you're posting about your MLM and the products and stuff like that, you keep talking about the same stuff and you keep trying to recruit people and you talk about how this is amazing opportunity and whatever, people are definitely gonna get bored of those kind of posts. Like it doesn't matter if you post every day or no. That's really not the secret to success in MLM or on social media.
And you guys might have heard us talk about it, but it's like you do 5 connections. You get 5 connections with new people that you've never talked to before. You just connect with someone. So you find 5 people. This is filling your funnel up. You do 5 reach outs. So reach out to 5 people, invite them to the business, and 5 follow-ups. So that's another one. If you're like for recruiting, staying really consistent with that, your funnel's literally never going to be dry. You're all
until you literally get blocked by social media because you're spamming. If you keep posting, if you keep commenting, liking, following, sending DMs to people all the freaking time, at a certain point, I don't know the numbers, but I know that at a certain point, Instagram thinks you're a bot if you keep doing that, or just spam in general. So you can get blocked. So your funnel is gonna stop growing. And not only that, but if you get blocked, I'm pretty sure that affects your chances of going viral, because if you're a bot account, the algorithm is definitely not gonna push your posts then. This is a very outdated, very terrible advice, and this video was released on YouTube in May. So why in May of 2024 she's still saying this kind of advice?
always going to have people to talk to.
I think Maddie's next. Hold
Yeah.
on.
I have a question, singing child as well. You briefly went over this, but with social media, with social media, how did you define your niche? Was your Instagram always popping, or what did you start doing differently that it turned it into growth? Sorry.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, it was not always popping. Like I was the person who kind of was salty against Instagram. Like I would literally be like, guys, like you need to be doing like reach outs is where it's at. Like my Instagram never was bringing me people. It was like I always had to only be talking to people. So I was kind of like Instagram.
Maybe because they thought you were a bot because you were spamming people and posting every day and following and DMing and liking and commenting a bunch. I mean, the chances that she was marked as a bot and like, how do you say that? Shadow banned or something like that? I'd say chances are pretty high that that's what was happening.
Instagram doesn't matter. Like social media doesn't matter. Like truly, I was like such a hater kind of. And so no, it wasn't always, but one thing, a mistake that I had been making for so many years was trying to talk
Was posting every single day and spammy behavior, like liking, commenting, following, and DMing people all the time.
to everyone. Like, and I think a lot of us do that. Like I was talking about every single product Monat had. I was talking about the opportunity is for every single person, and it is, right? And I never want to say that, oh, it's not, or you guys aren't invited or whatever. It's not like that, or make it some exclusive thing. But I talk about the person that I was when I was starting, and I talk about who I am now and my avatar, and that's who I'm talking to. So I think about a specific person when I'm talking about the business, for example. I'm thinking about a specific person that I'm talking to, right? Like that's who I'm talking to. I want the people who I'm looking for to be like, wow, it sounds like she's talking to me. And then as far as like the products, I really narrowed it down on hair care. I picked like 2 products that I'm like, I'm going to talk about the oil all the freaking time, and I'm going to talk about the IR clinical system all the time because like I was postpartum and like whatever. So it was one of those things. But those are like, I picked like a couple products to really talk about all the time because I feel like the more you repeat yourself, people get like those exposures more and more and more. Instead of being like, okay, I talked about the oil yesterday. Now I got to talk about the skincare. And then now I got to talk about this and that and that. People like need to hear it over and over. So I would say I niched more on hair care and specifically, thickening hair, like thickening your hair, postpartum hair loss. I pretty much niched on that and then talked about oil all the time.
I love that. Okay, now
How do you love that? That is the shitty advice. That's exactly what I said a few minutes ago. If you keep spamming people that watch your stories and stuff, if you keep talking about the same stuff over and over and over again, they're gonna get bored and they're gonna stop listening and they're gonna start muting you and things like that. That's not a good advice at all.
because actually today I sent in my chat the whole 555, and the number one question was, who are you reaching out to and what are you saying? So are you doing a cold message? Are you reaching out are you doing a follow-up? Like, who are these 5 reach outs that you're doing to and what are you saying?
Yeah. So the first one, the first 5 is literally you're just making a connection. And that's why it's important to know kind of like who you are and who you're looking for. And they say the best person to help is like who you were before you started the business. So you might think that I'm just looking for moms, but really I'm looking for women kind of like in that phase where like they know they want to grow their family, but they don't know how they're going to do that, right? They don't know, they want to stay home, but they don't know how they're going to work or make money or whatever. And also moms, but that's kind of like, so these are the kind of who I'm looking for. And you're just making connections. You're literally just finding people that you have something in common with and making.
I'm still hung up on the fact that this was May 2024 and this is the training that they're putting out. It's so old, it's so outdated. It has been said so many times by so many reps across all multi-level marketing companies, MLM coaches in general as well. And it's like they're talking as if it's something innovative and never spoken about before. It's just, my God.
Connection. If they're posting something on social media, you give them a compliment, whatever. So you make a connection, you get like a little bit of a conversation going. And then for the invites, I mean, it depends on the person, but a lot of the time I'm just voice noting someone and I'm being like, girl, I don't know if you've seen what I do, right? Because they got to be following you back and you got to have stuff on the story. But I'll be like, girl, I don't know if you've seen what I do, but you would literally kill it at this. Like, I know that you are posting,
Again, so original.
but you're posting like your favorite stuff here and there. Like you could be making so much money. I don't know if this is even up your alley. This might not even be for you. And I totally get it if it's not, but just let me know either way if you want to check it out. and I'll send that voice note. And it's always something like that. And then depending on what they say, right, then they're going on like my follow-up list. So it's like your funnel's always going if you're doing the 555, because the people that you started a conversation with yesterday, you can invite them the very next day. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes the conversation, it's not always the same. Sometimes your conversation is going to segue into Monat naturally. And sometimes you kind of just make that connection, then let it die, and then just literally go in for the pitch.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to watch this rice.
I was like, what? Okay, last one, and then Joe will wrap it up. But you kind of answered this too. Do you do anything with your current followers, or your 555s are like cold market, or do you like look at who's following you, or like when you have a new follower, do you write to them and say like, thanks for following me? Like, how do you engage with your already big network?
I mean, I personally, so normally it's like in my stories, I'm like trying to get people to want to engage with me. But before that, like I am now at the point after being so consistent on social media that I do get a lot of new followers every day. I do get a lot of new people every day, but it wasn't always like that. So it used to have to be where I had to go out and seek people and go on like, a person's like an influencer I like, and find who follows them and find the people, whatever, like that, like that's how I had to do it. But now I do get a lot of followers, so I pretty much just go through like my new followers and find the people that I think I'll really vibe with because they're already following me. So then it's like an easier way to kind of segue into that. The other thing too is I go through the people who are watching my stories. Like that's because they're already warmed up. And if they're watching your stories, there's a reason they're watching your stories, right? Like they got to be interested, especially if you're posting Monat all the time.
Again, if you are a social media expert, like you kind of present yourself to be, you would know that I'm not seeing her at the top here with the top leaders in Monat. So I really don't know what rank she is. If you know of this person, please let me know down below. If you know what rank she is she successful or not? If you knew anything about social media, you would know that you can kind of just like swipe through stories, and it doesn't necessarily mean that if someone clicked on your story and it looks like they viewed your story, it doesn't mean that they checked out the story fully, that they listened to what you said, that they read your post. They could have skipped it straight away. You do have the statistic in the story where you can see how many people move to the very next person's story. That pretty much tells you if they're interested in your story or no. Even if they list through all the stories that you posted, it still doesn't mean that they are interested, that they're watching, that they're reading, that they're listening. They could have just been mindlessly scrolling, as they like to say in MLMs, and not really paying attention. It doesn't necessarily mean that if there's a view on your story that that person is interested in what you have to offer. She's supposed to be a social media expert, but none of this really makes any sense.
They're watching for a reason. So that's where I really start, is like I go through my stories and who's watching my stories. So if you're not at that point yet, like obviously I wasn't, so this wouldn't have helped me at the time. I would have been like, okay, well, I've literally reached out to every single person that even follows me, right? So that's where you got to go, and you got to find new people. But putting out content, like some of my girls found me, you guys, from this stupid video that I made about making butter out of my breast milk. Like it was just a dumb, funny video. And a lot of my girls, it kind of like went, whatever. A lot of my people found me through that. They're like, wow, this is funny. That's something I would do. And then they saw my Monat content. So don't be afraid to put other content out.
So she finally managed to put out a video that was funny and strange, different, I guess you could say. And it went viral or half viral. And then she got a bunch of followers from there that she recruited into her team. So as we always say, when you have a big following on social media, when you get lucky to grow on social media, that's one of the best ways that these people get successful in an MLM, because then they have a bunch of new followers, new people that like them, start to trust them, they want to work with them, and they can recruit them easily in their team. And this is exactly what happened here, seemingly.
Too, like it doesn't all have to be Monat. It doesn't all have to be hair or whatever. Like be yourself, like do the things that you do that'll find the people that kind of are going to vibe with you. And that's how you're going to bring more people in who haven't already heard of Monat and aren't just following you because of Monat. You know what I mean?
Sorry. Yes, I love everything you said. Thank you so much. Now, the last one is just what's the advice you would give that new market partner that just signed up like yesterday? If you got that one new girl on your team, what is one piece of advice you would give them?
I would say to just like you gotta stay close to the fire. You gotta kind of like get into it, right? Like I think a lot of people start this business and they don't ever actually dive into it. And they don't ever actually
Do it. I was gonna say, just do it. Just take the leap. They always say that in Joe's videos.
like look into they don't watch any training videos. They don't obviously taking action is the first step, but you got to get in the chats. You got to study what people are doing, right? Like you got to figure out like what this really is and what you want out of it. And so many people are just like on the surface of it, you know? So go deep with like what you want out of this business and how you're going to
Go deep and take a look at the income disclosure statement and realize, please, that the majority of people never make any profit, and you can use your free time and your hard work and efforts onto something that's going to actually give you benefits and income, like profit, if that's what you need. MLMs are not the answer there.
get there and then make a plan and stick to it. And don't get distracted. I think that's a big thing too.
Yes, especially at the beginning, don't get distracted.
Yeah.
Sarah, thank you so much. This was gold. I feel like it's the things that all our new thanks. No, 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 no. The things all of our new girls need to hear, and even some of our old girls, you know, we need this reminder, and you're obviously killing it for a reason. If you girls already don't follow her, please go do, because her content is amazing. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for being on, and let's finish the month strong.
Okay, I mean, this was gold, was it? Because all the advice, like I said, was pretty outdated and pretty useless, in my opinion. Anywho, I'm gonna wrap that one up here. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it this far. You're a trooper, and I do appreciate you. And don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. That's a nice free way to support my channel if you would like. And big shout out to all my channel members, as always. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.